I'm Tara Blanchard, and you're watching Average Joe Sports Talk. And as always, this is the Coach Smith Show that is brought to you by Clint Bradley with Country Financial. Coach,
I'm going out the mask tonight. Can't breathe.
Well, I feel like it was the hottest night of the season so far, just in terms of humidity and everything. And man, I missed y'all's little mister walking up and down that side.
Yeah, it was pretty hot tonight.
And I keep saying we. I'm Piedmont alumni. Coach Smith was my weight training coach in high school and everything. So this is we. We had a big region win on the road against Glencoe as Piedmont alumni. Beating Glencoe is always something that thrills my soul. Sorry. Tell me about it.
Well, we were just excited about it being another game. You know, and that's the way our kids have approached it all year long. The uncertainties of what's surrounding the COVID situation and all. We just try to take each week as another blessing to be able to play a game and be able to go to Glencoe tonight and come out with a big region win. Very proud of our kids and coaches for the work they put in this week. It was a good night for us.
It was a great night. First shutout of the varsity season.
Right.
James Blanchard had minor temper tantrums about, not staying in your slot or.
Well, as coaches, I mean, we always find stuff to complain about. You never play a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination, and we made some mistakes tonight, and Glencoe took advantage of some of those mistakes and hit us with some big plays in the passing game in particular, where we kind of got a little bit out of our spot, and we did a good job going there at halftime and kind of adjusting some of that stuff and kind of get the kids refocused on what they were supposed to be doing. But the effort was there for sure, and early in the season, that's all you want. You want to see your kids give maximum effort, and you get some things on film that you see that you did wrong, you can go in and correct those things. But we did a lot of things right tonight, so I'm real proud of our guys for going on the road and getting a good win.
Well, and speaking of the guys, the B team, your younger guys got a lot of playing time in tonight and still managed to hold to have the shutout, and not just have the shutout, but also they scored as well. And usually, a lot of times when people see the younger kids go in, they're not expecting to score. They're going, this is going to be where the defense breaks down. How encouraging is it for you to be able to know that you can literally go down your entire sideline and be at peace with your decisions?
Well, we try to tell those kids, obviously you got starters and you've got backups and you got kids that play on Monday night predominantly, but anybody that will dedicate themselves to what it takes to be a high school football player, the rigors of being there every day at practice, working out in the weight room every day, doing everything that they're supposed to do, acting right at school, and doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom and all. I want every young man to get to experience what it's like to play on Friday night. And, we were fortunate enough tonight to get a league and got to get those younger guys in. But we also tell them that just because you get in the game and you're, quote, the B team or something like that, that doesn't mean that you just automatically roll over for the other team. We want those guys to learn how to develop a little bit of fight to themselves, to take pride, and if they have a chance to take it, put it in the end zone, that they need to do it. And if the other team's threatening to put it in the end zone, they need to bow their neck and get a stop. And, I don't want any of our players to ever be content with where they're at. And in particular, when those guys are typically used to playing on Monday night and they get in a Friday night game, I want them to give the greatest effort they've ever given. I want them to do something to catch our eye as a coach and say, hey, maybe that kid can help us somewhere on Friday night later on in the year. And I was very proud of our younger kids tonight for coming in and doing that, because, as you said, a lot of times when you put the younger guys in there, they just sort of resign the fact that they're not supposed to move the ball or they're not supposed to stop the other team. But I thought our younger kids in particular tonight showed a lot of courage and a lot of fight to get in there and go toe-to-toe with Glencoe and to keep them out of the end zone and able to put it in the end zone one time themselves.
Well, and I keep bringing this up. I'm obsessed with the fact that you're getting to coach Sean and Sloan.
Right. And
Sloan is the kicker. Only tonight, Sloan got to get in the game and get in some downs as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he got to, have a touchdown on the board from him. And you're the offensive coordinator. I feel like you're one of the smartest offensive minds in the game. What does that mean to you? Because Sean's defense, and I know that sometimes he sees the other side of the ball, but for Sloan to be, in there for snaps, and you got to coach Sloan on offense.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sloan's never played quarterback, and this year he's playing it kind of out of necessity because we don't have a B-team quarterback. And he's a smart guy. He understands what we're trying to do, and he's got a couple of B-team games the previous 2 Monday nights under his belt. So opportunity presented himself for him to get in there tonight. Now he just took snaps and handed it off, but it was a good job on his part to be able to come in with those younger guys and for them to be able to put a drive together and score. And you mentioned it, but it's always special to get to have your kids out there. I don't ever want to take that for granted because you don't ever know when that last time might be. But the thing I'm probably the most proud about is both Sean and Sloan are team players. They don't really ever complain about their role. They want to win first. They grew up in our house knowing that winning was pretty important, and they learned over the course of time that if they weren't the best player at a particular position, they need to work harder. And Sloan's made some tremendous growth as an athlete over the last year, and Sean has been playing for a long time for us, and lots expected of him. But when you go down our roster, Jakari Foster's been starting for 4 years now, and Hayden Young's been starting for 3, and Elijah's been starting for 3, and you can go on and on with some of those older guys. Some of them seem like they've been here forever. Mm-hmm. But we played a lot of football games over the last 4 or 5 years, and so those guys have gotten their regular season in, plus the equivalent of another season and a half worth of playoff games. And so when you've played 55 games in your career, you've got a lot of experience under your belt, and a lot's expected of you. And you've got Landon Smart in there, who was an all-state player for us last year, and that's just a junior this year, and some of those other guys in that junior class that's been playing for 3 years and got a lot of games under their belt. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys grow up and mesh together and gel together and find what they can do to help the team.
Well, and Coach, I know that these guys have been together for a long time, and they've been under you for a long time, because even as far up as you guys were, you can always tell from, kickoff to the end of the game, there always seems to be the air kind of lightens. And tonight, they still had fun, but there was no tee-hee, silly kind of stuff. They're so well coached. I love to be on the sidelines with them, because even as far up as they were still focused. They were still cheering one another on, still trying to come up with more ways to score, or hey,
right,
you got to stay in that gap. They were still coaching each other too, and that says so much about you and your staff and how they respect you guys and what you put into it. You've just got such a great team right now, and they're all great kids. The respect is there.
Yeah, and you've been somewhere for as long as we've been here now. We've been on year 15, and things kind of become a routine. I'm a routine guy. Everything's got to be like this, and this. I'm not a very good spontaneous, react on the fly type person. I like a structured program that, and that can be perceived sometimes as not having fun. A lot of kids like to be entertained, but our kids have done a great job of buying into the fact that the fun comes in to going and putting the work in during the week, and then just on Friday nights, just getting to go out there and show off the work that you've been putting in. Friday nights are supposed to be fun, and we try to let the kids have a good time on the field, but it can't take away from the focus of them doing their job and doing what they're supposed to do. You have fun in executing the plan and watching it all come together. I tell people a lot of times that the majority of your coaching is done Sunday through Thursday, from game planning and practice planning and all that, and then Friday's supposed to be, you don't go out there and draw them up in the dirt on Friday night. Friday night you go out there and try to let the kids play fast and play confidently with what they've learned throughout the week. And that's one thing from having a coaching staff that's been together for a long time, and like we're in here right now, those other guys are in there doing various jobs that have to be done before we go home tonight. And, we were just laughing about it within our school system just this morning that, hope nothing happens to any of our other coaches, our players, or whatever, but we've got our program to the point where if anything does happen, if I get sick or if one of our other players or coaches gets sick and has to be out for a couple of weeks, it should just rock right along because the program itself is bigger than any one of us. Everybody kind of knows what their responsibility is. Everybody kind of knows what their job is. And I'm very fortunate to have a lot of guys that can just come in here and pick up the slack and do what they're supposed to do to make it run the way it's supposed to run. And I think that trickles down to our kids, what you saw on the sideline tonight with those older guys, not trying to coach the younger kids and tell them what to do, but just trying to encourage them about how to do it. Right. The coaches can tell them what they're supposed to line up and do, but it's always fun for me to hear the older guys pulling for the younger guys because, those guys aren't always guaranteed to get in there on Friday nights. And, Luke Reinhardt scored his first varsity touchdown tonight. And, that's something he'll always remember.
Right.
And, just little things like that is pretty cool to me. And for the older guys to be able to share that with the younger ones, I think that's what feeds the next year's team and the following year's team, and that's what everybody that has come through our program's done such a good job of doing. They've been able to leave behind some of those things to be able to get the next group to take up the slack and, not have to suffer through a down year. That's something I'm very proud of is that, very seldom have we had to go through a complete rebuild type deal. You got enough guys coming back from one year to the next, and those young guys that have been playing those B-team games on Monday night that maybe some people have never heard of, we know who they are because we've watched them develop. Right. And so just being able to, that next man up mentality is something that everybody likes to talk about, but I think we really practice that here.
Well, Coach Smith, I know we have homecoming coming up, and I know that you're not expecting that to have any real merit on how...
Oh, I'm Scrooge when it comes to homecoming. Like I said, my number one priority during the homecoming week is to win the game.
Right.
You can't let all the other stuff become more important than the game. Our job as a coaching staff and as players is to get the kids ready and to go out on the field from 7 to 9:30 next Friday night and execute and win a game. Now, with that, you got all the other stuff that goes on with the parades and the door decorations and the floats and the rolling yards and all the stuff that goes, I guess it's just become accepted as part of homecoming. And, as a coaching staff, I just kind of, me and the other guys, we kind of hold our breath each year during this week because it never seems to fail that we have somebody that rolls an ankle trying to roll a yard or somebody does something foolish and gets in trouble. I can't tell you the last time we had a homecoming game that somebody wasn't suspended for the game or at least part of the game or something for something that was really just silly and foolish that had nothing to do with the actual game itself, So, but, I understand kids are going to be kids, but I try to encourage them. I talked to them a night before we sent them home about, their own people work hard to have a home and have a place. You don't go tear people's stuff up. That kind of stuff can get you in trouble.
Yes.
And just try to respect your neighbor, respect your friends, and do things the right way, and enjoy homecoming week, make memories and all. But the memories that we want to make are going to be centered around the game.
Well, Coach, I so appreciate your time. I know that you guys have tons of things to do. I know you and Coach Blanchard got to get back there and make sure that this generation is cleaning up the field house, washing jerseys and whatnot. But I appreciate your time, Coach. We look forward to sitting down with you next week after homecoming, which will hopefully be another big win. And we will see you guys next week. And as always, the Coach Smith Show is brought to you by Clint Bradley with Country Financial. And if you think you're going to die, Clint's your guy. And Coach Smith, you look like you might need to call Clint. Like you look awful tired.
I'm pretty tired. But we still got a lot to do here tonight before we go home. But that's one of the good things. We choose to do it tonight so everybody can have Saturday off. So it'll be worth it tomorrow.
We'll let you get to it, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.